Hey, what's going on, family? This is the underrated. This is the underrated. This is my channel, underrated thoughts. Yo, true, the underrated or the number one grinder. Welcome to the underrated mukbang number 11. Last minute, I fixed some food. Maybe we can have a little conversation with it and everything. So, hope everybody get on. So, let me fix this first. Let me see. Nope, nope, nope. So I'm waiting for some people to get on. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. I want to show. I show my food till people come. See that? Got orange juice with it. See that? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Trying to wait for some more. But I got some more, family. I got some more. Wait for some people to come. But I gotta eat some of this first. Mm-mm-mm. Show my food one more time. I got some more, family. I got some more. Orange juice. I had orange juice too. See, there you go. Yep. Oh, Supreme Beat Boxing Talk. What's good, family? Thanks for coming. Appreciate that. I'm surprised. Thank you. Paste in there. If you want to join the panel, family, you can. Welcome to the Underrated Mulkbang number 11. There goes the link right there, brother. If you want to join the panel. Thanks for coming. Appreciate that. So, again, this is my food. This is cut up franks with onions and eggs and good old orange juice. Yep. So how you feel today, brother? How do you feel? Glad you're here. I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hope you safe at work. Hope you safe at work. I know I'm gonna eat some of this food. I got some more. To a case. Oh, you ate all of it. Got some more, family. I got some more. Beasley, what's good? Let me read this first. Glad shalom to you, brother. Shalom to you. Um, I'm gonna show my food after I read this. Um, come enjoy real conversation with the underrated one. Us as the righteous ones, individually. Let's make a change within ourselves and generally being there for each other. We all we got. We all we got. Remember that. We all we got. Let me change this up a little bit. Let me show my food. This is cut up franks, onions mixed up with eggs, And this is orange juice. No, little something I made up. No, but glad you came. Appreciate that. This is good. See, we got a new president today. Whatever that means for our people. I see in boxing, he still got the same ones that is lying again. It's old meat that got to go. They ain't no service to us. No, so but I'm glad you show up, brothers. Supreme Beast Boxing, Measly, me. Want you go sub to each other and support. Welcome to my channel, the underrated Doctor Yours True, the underrated one, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on YouTube, best of the business. That's right. Yes, I am. Believe that. Best of the business. So wait for some more people to come through. Guy Hollywood, what's good? What's good to you? What's good? There goes the link right there. Probably want to join? There it is. There it is right there. Like my late mustard. There it is. There go. There go the link right there. Anybody that want to join the panel. We show my food again. Oh, show my food again. This is cut up franks, onions, and eggs. And in the cup, good old orange juice. Just throw a little something today for the fam. Oh, what's up? What's going on? LDB's winner losers. What's good? How you feel today? Excuse me. Glad people showing up. There goes the link. The link right there. Anybody that want to get on, feel free to get on. Like I said, I don't want no mess today. No mess. Just cut up franks, onions, and eggs. And in the blue cup, orange juice. Feel like, throw a little something. Maybe somebody want to talk on something. So I feel like I want to do that. Gonna eat some of this food. But like I said, don't worry. I got more. I do got more. I'm good, thank you. I got President Biden. Mm-mm-mm. I believe he's the oldest president that the United States have. Whatever that means. But let me ask you a question. Supreme Beast Boxing and Winner Train Loser could play LBC. What do you think was going on in boxing? Let's chat about that for a while until more people come. Or anybody that want to speak about it. Anybody want to speak on something, feel free. But there's a song that I'm gonna do a live about it next month. It's about the late great Frank Sinatra. Yeah, I like Frank Sinatra, some of his songs, and I'm gonna do a live about that. Yes, I'm gonna do a live about that song. How to translate with us as people. Yep, I'm gonna do a lot about that. And I just wanted to hear of your perspective. I ain't gonna say mine yet, or maybe I might hear a little later on. You never know. Well, but I hope everybody do having a great day. Mm, that's good. It's very good. Please travel safely. Please travel safely. If you have to travel in groups, please do so to your destination and at home. Please. I know some of us had to travel by ourselves, like myself. Take every precaution you can. Please take every precaution you can. If you're traveling right now, while I'm on live, let us know how you doing. If you get safe to your destination, let us know. Get safe to your safe home, let us know. All right, we got to make sure we look out for each other, y'all. We got to make sure of that. All right, that's very important. It's very important. Anybody that wants to donate, the cash app is dollar sign capital JT 53000, and also I do have PayPal. It's forward slash all in caps JT Black 53. You want to donate? There it is right there. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Again, welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness, yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on YouTube. Best of the business. Yes, I am. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate that. Yeah, I did a live last night. I want y'all to go check it out. The underrated commentary special one, number 9, reality check. Want you to go check that out. Hopefully put a comment and put some likes on it. That'd be greatly appreciated. Talk about different things that was going on through our social media that it's not right and everything. So I spoke about that, but I want y'all to check it out yourselves. Also I do underrated boxing talk. I think the next one will be like 10 or 11 or 12, something like that. Then I do MMA. This one coming up, this should be Sunday, God's willing. This Sunday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That should be number 3, God's willing. All right, Bruce goes. What's up, Rashid? Um, Here goes the link right there if you want to get on. Bruce goes and Brother She. You want to get on, there goes the link. So I show my food. Matter of fact, I'll be right back. Let me pull this bowl up again. All right, I'm back. I'm back. What's up, Brother She? Bruce goes. What's good? Like I said, the link is in the chat. You want to come up? Feel free, come up. Let me show my food. This is cut up Frank's, um, onions and eggs. Good old orange juice. That's what I fixed. So it's like last minute, you know. I'm glad you came, showed up. Everybody showed up. I mean, not everybody. Certain people showed up to the chat. Appreciate that. Tastes good too. Yum, yum, yum. Tastes very good. Let me show it again. Let me show it again. See that? See that? Juice. Little something, something. But glad you showed up. Mm, mm. So how you feel today? How you really feel today? Okay. The link is right there. Oh, thank you. If you travel home right now, let us know you traveling on Bruce Gold so we make sure that you're okay, all right? Keep us posted. Keep us posted. Keep us posted. Make sure let us know you get home safe. Again, welcome to my channel. The underrated dogs, yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder. One of the best kept secrets on YouTube. Best of the business. That's right. Put some respect on that. Welcome to my what's up, Rock Dixon? There goes the link right there if you want to come up. There goes the link right there if you want to come up. What's good, brother? What it look like? This is cut up Franks, onions and eggs, orange juice. So you want to come up? There goes the link right there. Hope you please hit the like button and share this out. Hit the like button and share this out. Thank you. Okay. Well, the link is in the chat. Brother C,
What's going on, man?
what's going with you?
Not much. Moving around, doing a little couple of things.
Okay. That's what's up.
You can refresh me on the topic.
No, this is underrated Mulkbang number 11. We can talk about anything. You always see the food?
Well, no, I ain't see it.
Okay. Here it is. This is cut up Franks, cooked, onions and eggs. And this is orange juice. A little something I throw on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was roaming on these YouTube streets and I see you
Okay.
popped on. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been here for a minute. I've been like going on 30 minutes.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But we could talk on rock this and that, hey, if you want to, you could show your food too. So the link is in the chat to anybody that wants to talk. But we could talk about anything, brother. What's on your mind?
Well, I want to hit a little bit on what I was talking about yesterday with when I was having that discussion when I was on my channel called All Fathers,
Okay.
and just having men being able to raise these young boys, and put them in position to teach them things. Like I was telling people that if you didn't grow up without if you grew up without a father, you
Hmm.
got uncles, You got coaches. You just got men in the neighborhood that kind of talk with you. You know, ultimately teachers, somebody that was in your life that kind of guided you a little bit. Because when it come
Mm-hmm.
down to it, not all of us, grew up with our fathers. So
Mm-hmm.
we needed someone there to kind of work with us and show us certain things. A lot of guys don't know how to change a tire. You know, you can look it up on YouTube and learn for yourself. But even in inspiration that you had in history, you had guys far as looking back at um what I say Thurgood Marshall, what he
Mm-hmm.
did. You had Charles Drew and a lot of other guys in history, Malcolm Martin, you know the key guys that kind of influenced that showed you the type of man who if you stay to certain standards, you can be this in your life. Even
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people criticize about Barack, but even being the president of the United States, the
Mm-hmm.
standard he took, just seeing yourself in other people and having that aspiration to be something of life one day, hoping that what I'm saying you can get to a certain status.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Okay. Well, that's all right. So I want to go check out my brother Seed channel. Make sure you're sub and participate. All right, that's very important. Well, my live last night was about it was a special underrated commentary number 9. And I'm talking about reality check, and I was talking about different things that us black men and black women we got to be held accountable for. But there are certain things that sometimes we keep on repeating it that it's not in God's favor. But we have to understand that we have to have a standard. We have to have morals. And so, like I said, y'all go check it out yourself. That I'm just giving y'all little drop some jewels on that and everything. But I want y'all to go to check it out for yourself. And please leave a comment. I like to see comments. Hit the like. All right. Yeah. So.
What When it come down to it, a lot of people don't understand when you reading and getting into the content. You want to go ahead and first of all like the video. That's the first thing I always tell people when you come in someone's house. You got dirty shoes, wipe your feet. You know,
Mhm.
it's just a common courtesy. Like the video, just like Go Professor. He has his theory of if you don't like it, do tell me what's wrong with it. But ultimately, make a statement, give comments that understand. It could be
Mhm.
something I could be doing wrong. It could be something I can do better for my channel. Let me know. Because
Yeah.
ultimately, you know, that's in this space what we're doing. We're here to work with each other, make each other be greater and better. So,
Yeah.
you know, help each other out.
No
You
doubt.
know,
Hey, it's good. Ricky Williams and Michael Johnson, if you want to get on the panel, feel free. You're more than welcome. It's up to y'all. Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's some of the lives I don't get no comment. None as a topic, just comment. Whatever it is, they ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Just put a comment. Is it gonna hurt to put a comment, hit a like? Like you said, ask me, let me know. I said, oh, okay. Like somebody put a comment like months ago. They say, underrated. We want you to do more mukbangs. Okay, that's what it is.
yeah, man. When it comes down to it, you got a lot of people that are looking at certain things, far as the videos and everything. They come in. I don't know what their expectations are or what they're trying to do, but
Mhm.
most cases, come in to get the understanding, knowledge, understand what the topic is about,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people don't know to kind of tend to stay on topic.
Mm-hmm.
Have a discussion. You know, stay on topic, and ultimately, get an understanding of what you're here for.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Hey, welcome, Mike Boxing. Salute to you. Thanks for coming.
What's happening? What y'all fellas
Uh,
talking about?
Man, we just talking about showing my food. Welcome to the underrated mukbang number, number 11.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Shoot, that's what I'm doing. I'm just making some, uh, just in the kitchen, about to get
Okay.
my jerk seasoning, preparing my jerk seasoning.
Oh, no, it's just a little something, some cut up franks and onion and eggs and some orange juice. That's it. A little something.
God, ain't nothing wrong with that, pimping.
Do a little something,
I gotta go to the
do a little
store.
something. Yeah. So you doing some jerk chicken?
Yeah, I'm making a jerk sauce. I'm making a jerk sauce, but I might end up switching it up because I can't find no damn ginger.
Oh, mm,
So
okay.
yeah, I see folks hot out there on the block, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot,
Mm.
they out there hot.
I'll try to do a little something. I'll try to do a little something. I ain't like I ain't like you yet. You big time.
Oh no! I might. So I ain't got no ginger, so I'm just gonna make a blend of some
Okay, got you.
herbs and veggies together and blend it
Mm-hmm.
up, and then go to the store and get these ribs.
Mm. Look at that. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Do you, brother She? Do you watch boxing?
No, not really. I mean, I watch it every now and then, but I'm not that big invested in it.
Okay.
I hardly even watch that much sports as of right now. Like I tell a lot of people, I work a lot, so man, if I'm not working, I'm
Mm-hmm.
either at home trying to do something with my kids. Like I barely watch movies. People be telling me about movies and TV shows. I bought Disney to watch The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even watched one episode.
Mm. Man, I get ready to finish this ball up in a few. So whoever missed that, you're on your own. You gotta catch it on the rewind. That's all I can
Yeah,
tell you. Gotta catch on the rewind.
because even
Yeah.
like the crazy
Go ahead.
part, man, when I be um if it wasn't for YouTube where I can listen while I'm driving and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't catch up on a lot of things, man. Just be on here talking with different guys and stuff like that. Cause like I said, most of the time I'm working.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Yeah.
When
Thank
it come
you. Thank you, Sunday. Go ahead, bro.
now, I was gonna say when it come to being in the YouTube streets, man, listen to guys and getting an understanding. Cause like I always tell people, man, I'm here want to get the knowledge and push it out or either receive it. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why I tell a lot of guys will come into YouTube, even with sports. I mean, I listen to you guys talk about boxing and stuff a lot and different sports teams. I'm not even like I used to watch football a lot, but when it comes to basketball, not that much invested in it. I've been to a couple of games and everything, but more or less just going with friends and having a good time.
Nothing wrong with that. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we got a new old. I mean, we got a new president today.
You say we got our old president today?
Yeah. Man, we got an old one, man. We got a new old president, y'all.
Yeah,
Dang.
man.
Man.
I wonder how those people feel. I was talking to a guy I work with, and he said a lot of those people were teed off at Trump because he could have pardoned him before he got out, but he just left him hanging.
Damn. Yeah, he part of quite a few people.
Yeah, as far as you know, people with money, but I'm talking about a lot of guys who had stormed the Capitol. I mean, with the Senate,
Oh yeah.
you know.
I know he part of Kodak.
Yeah. Oh, he did,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Wayne too.
That Lil Wayne. Oh, I forgot Lil Wayne's locked up.
Nah, he was finna get. I think he's supposed to be indicted on something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but that's the thing. They gonna get his ass anyway because he ain't. You can't. How you gonna pardon somebody before he even convicted?
Yeah.
Congratulations. You come up, brother Ricky, if you want. The link right there. You come up, brother Ricky.
No,
I knew it
and
was something involved in that with Wayne, and that's why Wayne was shaking hands with him, man.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You're right, Ricky.
that shit is just disgusting because there's people out there that that's in jail with criminal size crimes and shit. You know what I'm saying? And all kind of shit. And you gonna let that people that like literally rob people with their banks and all this stuff. You gonna let somebody slide who like knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
like caught red-handed. Like you know what I'm saying? Confess.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got people out here. I mean, we could bring it back to Asada Shakur. It's like can't nobody say that she killed them. Can't nobody say anything with that. Especially around them times. Y'all over here pardoning rappers, like who literally out here gang banging, right?
Hmm. Welcome, my brother Ricky Williams in the house. Peace to the gods.
What's
Well,
happening? Peace to the gods, fellas. Peace to the
what's
gods.
going
How
on,
y'all
Ricky,
doing?
man?
I'm cooling, man. Look, man. I got a vent. I got a vent. I need somebody to vent to, guys.
Go ahead, man. You family. You family, man. Come on, man. Don't treat me like that.
Man, look, I'm gonna be brutally honest with y'all, man. The African American would never move past their economic status or position in this country. Never. I say this with 100% confidence. I say this with 100% confidence. Dude, look, let's this shit is crazy, right? This is how crazy niggas is. Niggas is crazy. The way niggas think is crazy. It's insane. It's insane. Let's take Trump totally out the fucking equation. Let's take Trump out the equation. Let's say Trump let's say Trump didn't even exist. Let's take him out the equation. What has Joe Biden and Kamala Harris done for any black person in this country in their total career in politics? This is a real question. What black person have they assisted or helped or saved? Or what policy have they ever enacted that helped the black person?
No, nobody.
But these motherfuckers on Facebook and Instagram, college educated people, let's fuck college. Let's look, college ain't shit. College indoctrinated people. You supposedly spent all this money for college, but instead of being a rational human being, doing your research and thinking logically, y'all crying and boo-hooing like this shit is a win for y'all. What has Joe Biden or Kamala Harris done for any of you?
None.
What the fuck are y'all celebrating?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's like who was it? Dr. Dunbar earlier. I was on the channel and he was saying that he was in a group and a lot of women was talking about these pearls. And I'm like, pearls? They're
Mm-hmm.
celebrating a
Yeah.
woman, first of all, that's not even black. And
She's a
you
fucking
know,
Arab.
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all? How can people not watch this shit and be upset and pissed?
Mm-hmm. A lot of people drinking wine. Yeah, we got what we want. I said, huh? What is you talking about? Not a win.
But this the caveat, my friends. This the caveat. Watch this. The shit on the state capitol, right? The state capitol is all Trump fault, right? If Trump initiated that against the state, is that not an act of treason? If Trump initiated, right? If he
Mm-hmm.
initiated some shit like that, that's an act of treason upon your own government. Let's see how hard they press this shit now that he ain't in office.
That's a good point.
Watch how quick the media narrative changed today.
It's changing right now.
The Democrats is not y'all fucking friends. Y'all slow as fuck. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Ain't neither one of them your fucking friend. But y'all so used on waiting. Y'all so used on believing somebody gonna save y'all. The motherfuckers y'all thinking gonna save y'all is the motherfuckers gonna put the knife in your fucking back. Celebrating this goofy shit. I keep trying to tell y'all niggas ain't shit free. Everything you get costs you something, whether it's time, energy, whatever. It costs you something.
So what I think is going to happen is a hard head is going to make a soft behind, right? So it's been illustrated. Shit, it's got to be. What are we now? 120 some odd years of kind of the same thing. So once the slaves got freed, the government showed right away. Oh, you don't have 40 acres in the mill. I don't even think it wasn't even 10 years before they changed their mind. So we keep thinking that we're gonna get what we want by voting for this person or that person. Hell, even W.E.B. Du Bois tried to cozy up to a politician, thinking he was gonna get something out of it. That we were gonna get something out of it. So I think kind of where I'm at with it, and first, before I go any further, Mr. Underrated, appreciate you having me on and allowing me to
Thank you,
speak in
Rock.
your platform.
Thank you, Rock. This and after you finish, I want each of y'all tell about your channel so we can keep this thing, keep this conversation going, please.
Yeah, my channel is nondescript right now. I'm still trying to decide if I want to spend the time to share the information that I have. That's why I'm glad that you allow me to speak here, because it does take time and it does take effort. So I do appreciate you guys that do that.
Okay.
But that's my deal. Let me just, if I can, just finish that thought right quick. Is that we keep falling into the same trap, and even if you go back and you have like Brother Malcolm, people love Malcolm X until they really have to hear what he has to say, and one of the things he talked about was voting and thinking that is the solution. That is part of the solution. It is part of securing what you want to secure, but you still got to do the work. You still have to teach your kids. You still have to own your own businesses and patronize your own businesses. You can't outsource that stuff. So, and that's kind of the mind frame I'm at. And, if we put it into terms, 2020 and 2021 terms, Save Yourself Black Man is not just for, like it gets pigeonholed into men just going looking for women. That's a whole nother topic about brothers spending too much time talking about women. I don't understand that personally. But it's not just that. Save Yourself Black Man is being self-sufficient, understanding what you need to do, and knowing how to execute it. And when you don't, being able to shut up long enough and listen to somebody who does. And I'll stop there because I could probably go on. And I know you wanted to introduce the other brothers.
No, that's all right. That's good. That's good. Brother Ricky, talk about your channel, please.
Hey, man. Look, y'all can find me on YouTube under the name you see Ricky Williams. It's hard to find. I'm not gonna lie to y'all because of my name. So just look for that RW logo. I don't do this type of talk on my channel because they're gonna ban me. They're gonna ban me, dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I keep saying, man, people need to wake the fuck up, bro. Y'all really need to wake the fuck up thinking the person that enslaved y'all initially, the person who took your history, your children, your ancestors from you, gonna save you. It's not gonna happen. The system or the white man, whoever the fuck you want to call it, is not gonna wake up one day and say, oh, I was wrong. They're not gonna fucking do that. It's not happening. It's not happening. There is no peaceful transfer of power. The inauguration. Oh, there ain't no transfer of power. It's one moron into the seat that the last moron was in. There's no force, there's no fight because the people you see in front of them have no fucking power. All this shit is fucking fugazi. All of it. All this fucking political shit is fucking rhetoric, contradiction, and politicking. That's why it's called politics. But y'all keep looking at these fucking crackers like they gonna save y'all. And motherfuckers like Obama and that other bitch that ain't even black for real, for real.
But here's the trick part about that, though, is when asked directly, several times, Ice Cube put his little script out there and tried to get Biden and Democrats and Trump to come to the table and say, here's what we're going to do for the black community. But when asked point blank, Joe Biden's like, oh, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do because people are going to shoot holes in it. Yeah, that's how open forum and debate works. That's exactly how it works. You say what you're going to do, and then somebody says, oh, that don't sound right because, it's either not possible, we can't afford, whatever it is, they get to poke holes in your theory. But what's worse is, I think that's what irritates me the most about, all the dancing in the streets about it is they didn't even promise you nothing, let alone, so there's nothing for them to no promises for them to break. They didn't give you nothing. They didn't offer you anything.
Even if you believe in voting in this raggedy ass system, they got your vote for free, bitch. They got your vote for free. But not even 20 years ago, this motherfucker was calling your babies, our babies, super predators.
Yep, back in the 90s, not that long ago.
Well, and that explains the pearls. Now you understand about the pearls, and take a close look at of those of who of those are most excited about it. Who are most excited about it? I mean, I know some brothers that are like, good, we got the racist out, but the people that are most excited about it are wearing pearls.
Women.
I don't get it. I mean, I get it. I get it.
I get it. I mean, yeah, go ahead, Shane.
I don't fault everybody for being joyful about the situation because some people got legitimate reasons for being grateful for this, and I don't fault them. Who I do fault is like people who doesn't have a valid reason to be grateful for things like this. Like people who like seriously think that this guy and this gal is gonna get up in here and do everything. See, like the brother said, ain't nothing for free. When your ass get up there into politics, that's supposed to be your job, is to do things for free. But in this society and how voting is, it's like all of it is fucking just straight up wicked. Is wicked. Ain't nothing good about it. Yeah, you might have some people out there that's down for the cause. They help out everybody. Pick up late night phone calls and all that shit, and ride for people for nothing. But there's too many people out there that want something. You know what I'm saying? For something that's supposed to be free. You know, and when you see this guy, as soon as they start adding people, well, first of all, that gal he picked already was already that already invalidated him for me. You know what I'm saying? But I told folks, man, ain't no. I've been telling folks, man, really ain't no sense of voting unless you know a group of people actually get down together and actually pick somebody that's not part of this already. You know how it is. They already tell you who's running for president, and there's some guys that's always on TV regularly, and there's like 50 motherfuckers that don't even get spoke of. You got to find somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep finding these dudes off the TV. That Fox and CNN, all these guys keep shoving down your motherfucking throat. You got to get together and find somebody else. Somebody that you can relate to. Somebody that's down for how y'all think and how y'all move. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be the dude that you want somebody to run for child support, well, then you go over there and get your homies together and ride for him. But not no Ben Hyde and no Kama Sutra Harris. That's all I gotta say.
Did you call her Kama Sutra?
Yeah.
That's funny.
You really got somebody that got caught sucking dick to make it to the big leagues. Oh, y'all know about that, huh?
I didn't know about that, but that's hilarious.
Talking about Willie Brown.
Yeah. I know about Willie Brown. I know it's like caught doing what?
She got caught, but like not with the meat in between her jaw.
Oh, okay. I thought there was video evidence somewhere that nobody was talking about.
I said, no, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that shit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so from my perspective, the long and the short of it is, because in many places, or what's been the conversation in the Black community for a long time for now. What are we talking about? At least the YouTube world have been, Black male, Black female relations and the whole whatnot, and it all is going to come back to the same place. Save yourself, Black man. That's politically. That's going to be getting involved in the legal system for those things that are disproportionately affecting you, and as it relates to your pockets. To me, that's the most important thing. Things that are injurious to your pocket, don't do them.
Yeah,
don't do them. And that includes some of these women. That's why I don't understand some of this debate about the women. If they're not acting right and they hurting your pockets, why are you messing with them? Leave them alone. Go do something else.
Go ahead, brother. See, anything you want me mention?
Nah, y'all good. Go ahead.
No, I would say this. Like, I was going through YouTube this morning, checking out some things, and basically what I heard about. Two conversations that I heard about. There's three different conversations. I heard another conversation talking about we should be happy that Biden is in office. Also, we should be happy. We shouldn't complain about gender war. Okay. Another conversation you heard about the people is very happy they had Kamala Harris and old Philip Joe Biden in office. That's another conversation. And in this conversation that I think is very legit. And I feel that when it comes to it, that now I'm talking about the brotherhood now. I'm talking about the brothers. And me and brother, see, we talked about this earlier, as you know, but us brothers, we ain't together, man. We not. We are not together. There are brothers here in this other segment. There's brothers over here in this other segment. Then when you got brothers in different segments, they don't want to branch. They don't want to branch out.
Well,
And
it's cool. It's cool to be in different segments as long as the agenda is the same. How we get there and the things that we focus on. I may focus on this thing over here, and it's most important to me, and you can do something different. But if our agenda is the same, it's okay, right?
I mean,
I
to an
understand.
extent,
No,
to
no,
an
I
extent.
understand. No, 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 no. Let me finish. Let me finish this part. There's nothing wrong with that, brother Dixon. There's nothing wrong with that. But my thing is this: if we said that we a brotherhood, if we said that we empower black men, despite the differences that we have, we need to be about it. I'm tired of here and I'm tired of there. When are we as a whole we gonna work together despite what it is, and you can bring something to the table, brother. She can bring something to the Mike can bring something. I can bring to the table. Ricky can bring something to the table. But I'm saying us as black men, we have to unite. That because it's easy to say this. All due respect, I can say yeah, I'm into my segment right there and there, but I have to understand there's a bigger picture. And I have to understand that I have to be part of the solution. And throughout the years on this earth, that going on 55 years, I'll be 55 within a few months. We're not together. They can say all they want to. Not saying your brothers is like that. I'm just saying as a whole. All right, brother Mike, there's anything you want to add on, please?
Yeah. But that's all depends, man. Because I don't. To me, in particular, I don't see it as a man thing. I don't see none of this as a woman thing. Overall, it's a black issue. It's black, and I think you have to. I think when you have something that's going on and you got to start from the scratch all the time, and it's so broad and stuff like that. I think at the end of, to me, my opinion, because I really don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it's all about blackness. You know what I'm saying? Every man, woman, and child. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, and that's the reason why I keep saying it depends, is because there's too many of us that's too weak minded. You know what I'm saying? There's too many of us that's weak minded that's gonna get, you know, that's going sidetrack off the mission, because if you look at each and every fucking group that's out here that's doing their thing as far as the black community, everybody's just seeing that they want to they don't see eye to eye with everything, or when somebody else gets put on and make it to this level, they get mad when they don't get no shine or get no recognition or get the plug put out there and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to these women's groups, they try to shut a nigga down shit real quick with this toxic masculinity and all that shit. But the main thing about it is really, to me, is it's just blackness, man. Because you know, I everybody is owed something, but that doesn't mean we're gonna get it. I know that doesn't mean anybody want handouts. I get that, but owed something and getting handouts and needing it is difference between
Oh,
somebody right and they wrong. You know what I'm
can I
saying? That's
follow?
what I'm saying.
Can I follow you with a question on your opening there?
Go ahead.
Is so if your statement was that you don't see it as a man thing and you don't see it as a woman thing, and I'm going to ask a direct question: is for white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, which gender is considered the leaders of their community? Is
I
it
don't
the
know, but
men or the women?
I'm gonna start it with this. I'm gonna tell you I don't know because I don't care, but we ain't them.
Okay. Okay. So that was a non-answer. So I think everybody kind of knows that you want to deal with things that have to do with the white community, you're gonna go talk to white men, generally speaking. Same with the Hispanics, same with Asians, same with Arabs. Now, I don't know that we can say that as a black community, that the decision making and the agenda setting starts with the black men.
Yeah, but
I don't
when
know
we
that
going
we
to
can
get
say that.
together? You know what I'm saying? I get what everybody's saying, but when are us as black men going to see each other's existence, as great? And no matter what level, when we going to say, yo, there's no way, no matter what it is. I give you case in point. Yeah, I know in my own way I'm a leader, but it's like this. If Brother She has a plan that can mobilize us as brothers and a few brothers on. And I feel that okay, I can move with that. I'm gonna put mine in the back pocket. I'm gonna roll with them because we're gonna roll as one. And it seems like like I said, seems I know what I see. Hey, you gotta understand, man, that um you gotta get your hands dirty and get up in. Nah, to turn on my own people, to turn on my own brother,
But
and watch and see of this administration. We see all the watch and see. It's gonna be a whole lot of brothers gonna turn them up against each other. You watch and see.
but you got to understand with this, like me and you was talking about earlier. When it
Yes.
comes to that, you got to look at it like we were saying, and the guy just said it a few minutes ago. We all got to be on the same page. A lot of these guys is not gonna make it. You can't save everybody, and that's the mentality we
Hold on. Could
gotta
y'all hear
we
me?
gotta accept.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Exactly.
Could y'all hear me?
Yeah, you just drop off. I got you back in.
All right. No, could y'all hear me before I dropped out?
Nah,
No,
we didn't
no.
hear that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but basically, like I said, when it come down to it, a lot of guys got to men who work together. They all on the same page. In a team sport, far as let's say football, timing is everything. The receiver, the quarterback, the running back, they're all going to be in trying to be in one sync because that receiver, take for instance Julio, Matt Ryan throws to him, he goes out there and get it. He tell him put it in the air, I get it. You know when that quarterback and that receiver are sync, there's one when they start to work together, man, they dominate through the team. When that when their linemen are in sync with that quarterback, no one can break that. They can't get through. You got the running back. When the team is synced in general, everybody playing their part, you good. When you start having people, let's say a tackle, don't want to block right because he's mad at the quarterback, you start seeing the team break down. And that's what always happened with the men. That's why we can't never come together because there's a few people that are not with the program. And the ones who are not with the program, they always hurt the team. So understanding if we can play with less players and have a stronger team, that's what we need to do. Because, just like I always hear, this whole notion, everybody's not gonna make it. Everybody can't be a millionaire, but everybody can try to be a millionaire. And that's the whole thing I'm getting from the conversation. We work with each other so hard to try to get intellect. No, last night on the channel I had, I seen the guys come up there. We talked, we build. The guys were in the chat, and Smooth said it. He said, "You will have guys come on the channel, build with some intellect and all this, and then turn around and go to one of these crappy channels and sit over there and joke it with these guys, and that's it. Won't do nothing else. They'll talk good on this space, but then when they go to another setting, you know, they'll forget about it. They're not doing the work. Some people like Ricky. And my boy Kane always say, knowledge yourself. You don't even have to be a God body seven. The what is it? The
5%.
nation. Yeah,
Oh.
5%er. You don't have to be a 5%er. Just knowledge yourself starts with you first, knowing what you want and trying to, saying do things to the best of your ability, carry yourself a certain way. That's why I tell those guys, I can speak with you guys because I know what I want out of life and I'm walking a certain way. I'm moving a certain path. You know, there's things that I could be doing that are, bad for my body, my soul, and everything else, but I choose not to do that for the greater good of me and my family. You know, that's the mentality that I have. And a lot of guys who are walking in that 5% nation, they understand that and they know the numbers on it. The guys who are not doing that, you can't help them because they don't want to be helped. You know, BGS, I always talk about this. When it comes to a lot of guys in this space in the manosphere, they one blowjob away from getting married. They do all this red pill rage on all these channels, but they don't want to work with nobody. That's why I be trying to fight with these dudes so much. That's why I even started this channel that I got because I'm one of the guys that come over there and we talk, we build. The guys who want to build, that's what I want to work with. Because the other guys who are not wanting to build, they not over there working. They're over there doing something else. That's why when we get these guys underrated, that's why I told you by all means, when we get guys to come on the channel and want to work, we put in the work with them. All the other guys, if they not there, they not receiving the work, man. Everybody can't come to the party. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody ain't gonna have that pass to get in, the VIP. It's gonna be some people at the door. Admission, hey, it ain't free. You can't get in.
What's up? Anybody want to build on that?
Oh, because yeah, I mean, I thought I was speaking before I dropped off, but I had myself on mute because somebody was trying to fucking call me. But you know, like I was trying to remember what I was saying. I just I don't care how it starts, and I don't care how it ends. You know, we we've been raggedy for a minute, uh, and I don't and I don't care. I don't care if it's a all women's group, all male group that started off. I don't care. I don't care if it's just black women and black men getting together and setting it off. I think really to tell you the truth is that a lot of these games they are vibration. You know what I'm saying? It's not the natural order of how we could conduct ourselves. And I think that, you know, we just need to get it done. And it doesn't matter what shape or form or fashion that it gets done, as long as, you know, it's legal and all that shit. I just don't care. You know, I know some of y'all brothers, might not like it and saying that it starts with the men first and stuff, but I don't believe in it. I just believe that at the end of the day, you know, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah,
And,
I
and so
feel you on that.
if I can just kind of respond to that, is I don't think there is a different way to skin a cat. I mean, as far as it relates to um, uh, social and socioeconomics, this is how it's always been done, right? The men lead and set the agenda. That is what we're built to do. And in order for that to function properly, the women have to follow our lead in order for it to function properly. If
That's not
in some,
true.
please point out somewhere where that is not the case in
No, what I'm saying
society.
is that this is how I know it ain't true, because it ain't work.
Oh, it hasn't worked for us because we're no longer doing it. So even coming
When we
out of
did do it, like when we did do it, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? We had female black females trying to run for president. You know what I'm saying? We did. It didn't what happened with that?
Okay,
Shirley Chisholm.
I'm not being clear. What I'm saying is that
No, I
in
understand what
order.
you're saying. I
Okay.
understand what you're saying, but economically and all that stuff, I think sometimes, man, we got to throw some of that shit out the window. Like some of the stuff that all the stuff that we've been taught. It's like there is there is more than one way to skin a cat. I don't know if you ever skinned a squirrel, a goat, or anything, because I have. There is one way to get the goddamn job done. More than one way.
Okay. So
Mm.
my position on it is this. We're currently in a situation where black men are not running what's happening in our community. We're not running our own economics. We're not running our own education. We're not running our own businesses. We're not doing it. And it's definitely worse now than when I was a kid. And it's definitely and if you talk to anybody, our parents and grandparents, they say it's worse than when they were kids. So the erosion of our leadership role has to be part of that. And what I challenge every brother I talk to, especially my young brothers, is to not see stuff for what you want it to be, not see stuff for what you think it should be, but for what it is. And for what it is right now is black men have a hard time running the leadership role and having people follow that role. So for whatever reason, whether it's because we don't want the role or because we keep getting thrown in jail or because we're not educated enough to do it, whatever the reason. I don't I'm not trying to figure that part out, but I'm saying that as it is right now, we're not doing any of those things on a broad enough scale that when we as black men set the agenda, that our old people come with us, our young people come with us, and our women come with us. That's what I'm saying.
I, can I refer to that?
Mhm.
When it come down to it, you got men are setting the agenda. We're building. We're doing a lot. The other men that are not building, we can't speak for them. We can't work with them because they don't want to work with us. They're just like the women. They want to sit here and complain about what men are not doing, but there are men that are doing a whole lot. Just like the whole, I understand what the guy was saying earlier when he was saying about the women and the men working together. You had Stacey Abram out here pushing to get all these guys to vote, in these election times right now. But the whole point of it is, I told him, I was like, she got the job done. It should have been guys out there doing it as well, and it was guys doing it out there. But the only thing was, she got the recognition because why? In that case, she was the bigger star, you know. And the whole thing with the situation with men working, there are a lot of men that don't get that recognition. Me as a father, what I do for my kids and do for my family, I don't get a pat on the back. I don't get an award for it, but I don't need it. You know, my thing is I'm doing it for my kids, my legacy, and I'm doing it just to get the job done. You know, my wife thanks me at times and do stuff for me, but even if she didn't, I didn't care. I really wouldn't care because ultimately, I'm doing things for my family. I can't sit here and focus on other people outside of my family trying to influence me to telling me I'm either a good father or a bad father, you know, because I'm training my boys to be a better man than me, to work harder than me to make, what I'm saying, see how I'm making the sacrifices for them to live a certain life. That's the men we need out here. And the men who are not going by that model, they're trying to teach their kids and show their kids certain things. Like I said, we can't work with them. We only can work with the men that are out here producing and like my friend always say, movers and shakers. We need the people out here, boots on the ground, getting it done. For all these other guys that we always talk about that not doing the work, understand it's gonna be a lot of guys. How do you think all these women out here that have babies by these guys? Most of them are messing with the same guys. Because why? These guys don't. All they want to do is just have sex. They don't want that more than have that legacy of having a whole bunch of kids they're not taken care of. Because you got guys that are like I tell a lot of people when I go in spaces, I got a lot of friends that got kids. There's only one friend that I have that don't take care of his kids. Me and him, I don't even talk to him. You know, because the whole point of it is that whole narrative that black men don't take care of their kids is false. That whole narrative that we don't want to get married is false. We want to get married, but to the white woman. Like they say, the stats, what, 52% of men that are single with, I mean,
Yeah.
don't have kids. Then you got another 30-some% of men that are married. So you damn near getting close to like 80%. So what are the percentage of men having kids? That small 20%. They're out there wilding out.
Okay.
And
What?
and that's kind of an illustration of what I'm talking about, right? So when we start talking about having, first of all, it's to your point, it's everybody can't come, but also a small percentage cannot carry the load of folks that just want to ride, and everybody in the boat got to row. You can't have folks that's not rowing in the boat. There will be those who can't, young and old, but everybody else needs to be doing something in that boat. And then the other side of that is the woman's side. If we're talking about, and this is not unique to black women, so I want to make sure I'm not saying that. But if the idea that 20% of the dudes are creating all of the kids, or a significant amount of the 80% of the kids, whatever that number is, I don't know what it is these days. And if that's the scenario, then we have a standards issue. We have a moral issue. On that, I agree with Obsidian when he talks about that. There's a moral issue, right?
I continue to bring up this whole concept, and before I get started, to you guys, to the chat,
Us,
Boss.
brother.
we can't escape the role that culture plays in everything that's being discussed right now, and it's literally a side effect of all this data that we've observed. Like Sheed was talking about a second ago, 53% of black men are childless. Yet black men don this moniker of black men ain't shit and don't take care of their kids. When my own brother is literally getting kept out of being able to be in the lives of his 3 children, even though she's the one that has continued to play just loving hip hop stages of drama that get programmed into the minds of these kids growing up. It's all rooted in the culture. It's your cultural standard that gives you the understanding that it's better to have 10 people with $100,000 than a single millionaire. And so much of this is based on female energy dynamic being the baseline that creates the worldview that we have had in this country ever since we got into Reconstruction. And the difference between that and masculine dynamic is that women are focused on building the nest. It's Briffelt's law and 80-20 principle all day long. Whereas men are focused on the framework. We have to build. We pursue the means of making money, not so we can hold on to it, but so we can actually contribute it as a baseline to create a family in the first place. I've yet to find any man who's busted their ass going to school, busted their behind getting certifications, just so they can have something selfish to say, I own this. They're doing it as a pretense so that they can support a family, period, or at least the idea of one. And how many women do you see on this idea of getting the bag so that they can say, I don't need to be dependent on anything? When in reality, the only reason why they can have that is because the state is acting as a surrogate so that they can make that happen. It's literally the definition of the plantation model copied and pasted. That's the beta version of it. And the 1.0 version of this has been rolled out with feminism and intersectionalism. And it's going worldwide. We are literally social guinea pigs with this. If you do not address the culture, you continue to get the results you see right now, which look nothing different than trying to multiply by 0. And so long as we sit here and fail to understand that women serve as a gate, that gate is going to produce a very specific thing. We need to be honest here. Anybody that is in any sort of family that's classified as the so-called black community, they have a direct line of effect from a black woman that's classified as MBA, what did he call it? Foundational Black American or ADOS. It's one of those two categories of female serves as the anchor for that family. That comes with it a particular set of values and a particular perspective that has been outlined multiple times through history. From Fraser in the 1899 when they were analyzing folks coming out of slavery, down to the Moynihan Report in 1965. Black men and boys have not been prioritized to perform a role, and that role is in leadership. It's not a delegation of responsibility, it's a delegation of liability, and people cannot perform roles they were never trained for. And it was made very clear during that time period. And you can look at them folks sit there in the Senate and the House arguing in black and white during the Nixon administration that they did not see any way the black community could move forward unless the black community gave more support to its men and boys. And who rose up to shoot that down?
What year was that?
1965, the Moynihan Report.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll check this. Hold up.
Let me finish the point, because this is exactly where we get the idea of intersectionalism, presenting this idea that by enforcing or giving power to the men and boys, that they would be hindering the women. And this is what created the problem we're dealing with now, because there's this idea that somehow giving black men power oppresses the black community. This is what we're dispelling right now. I think that was Mike. Go ahead and say what you were going to say.
Yeah, like, I'm going to give y'all a little backstory, right? I'm married to a full-blown Nigerian. So, this is the reason why I keep trying to say is like a lot of this stuff that we keep talking about, it doesn't apply to us, and they don't, all that nesting and stuff like that. My wife does a lot of things for the lineage of, for the Obama name. You know what I'm saying? Not just for her kids, but her brothers, sisters, dad, and the full family. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say tribe, but that tribe is just a group of random people that they don't know. But what I would say is, and I'm gonna keep saying this: we can't keep using all these definitions and shit like that, and theories and stuff. Even though that we could see some telltale signs in it and stuff like that. Everything that we do as a human being to benefit ourselves as people can't be dictated by a book or from somebody said a way long ago. Because we could see groups out here already right now that's created strong black men and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Young guys being brought up to be taught to be young, strong black men. There are groups, and I'm not talking about Jack and Jill. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like every time somebody gets put on, if you want to bring up the culture, a lot of this shit that we're talking about is not even our culture. It's brainwashing.
Okay, so let me pause this right here.
Brainwash.
Because I see where you're going. You're confusing this term.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
Go ahead. We'll follow up.
You can say I'm confused and all that stuff. I don't care. I'm a believe in what I want to believe in, and ain't nobody gonna change that. And I'm gonna say this again. It don't matter who started. It don't matter if it's a woman. It don't matter if it's a man. It don't matter who started. All it matters is where the finish line and the goal is. And we can't be dictated who started and how we go around, how we get there. As far as it's a woman, as far as it's a man. I don't think we should be worried about and dictating who can head that. My grandma used to fucking march with a whole group of motherfucking women back in the days, and it wasn't just about like you would say nesting. It was about fucking survival. You know what I'm saying? It was about fucking survival. It was about rights, and it was out there for the black. It was about their right for the black man too.
I think you missed entirely what I intended when I said nesting.
No, I'm not missing anything.
You did.
I'm not missing anything.
You missed the point I was attempting to make.
Okay,
when I even brought that up.
What was your point? What was your point?
To demonstrate the difference in male.
One at a time. One at a time. One at a time.
Hold up. Let me just say this. Can you make a long story short so we can, speed the process up?
The very first thing I said was that culture is our issue and will continue to be our issue. And your wife is Nigerian. She was raised to perform a role. That is the difference I'm talking about. The environment
Hold up.
is
Okay.
what created the scenario
Okay,
we're
can I
in
ask you
right
a
now.
question?
Let him finish, Mike. Let him finish.
No.
Go
Let
ahead.
me ask him a question.
Go ahead and ask the question.
How do you know what my wife was raised to do?
She still is Nigerian, and there's a reason why you brought that up.
No. How do you know my wife was raised to do something?
Because that's literally what the culture does.
Well,
Now,
wait.
Let me.
Okay, so you actually hold on.
Let me
You
finish.
actually
One at a
don't know.
time. One
You
at a
actually,
time. One at a time.
you actually don't.
Okay.
You actually don't
my point.
know. You don't know. You don't
can't
know. You
speak
don't
for
know
her
what his wife.
individual.
Right.
Let me finish. I
Right.
can't say for her individual personal experience. I can
But
only
the
speak
culture-
as an aggregate. But the culture, using this word
There you go.
Nigerian, does pertain to a culture. That's literally what I'm trying to talk about. I didn't want to speak to your anecdotal position because, again, everybody's individual perspective, individual experience isn't necessarily reflective of the average. We're up here talking about the average. And while it's your right as an individual to say that you can abstract away the average, at the end of the day, the average is nothing more than the shadow of a culture. Meaning you can't get away from that shadow. You can say because of my personal. Let me just finish the point. Let me just finish what I'm saying.
One at a time. Go ahead, Nameless. Go ahead, Nameless.
What I'm saying at the end of the day is your individual anecdotal experience is not necessarily reflective of the aggregate. And if you want to solve a problem, you have to look at both because we are literally walking exceptions and illustrations, and we focus on the exception and completely skip the rule and abstract away the overall situation. And it keeps us from being able to problem solve. I can say from my anecdotal experience, I've become successful in spite of our circumstances, but that's useless if I want to sit down and actually get into the state of problem solving as a whole for us. If we want to use these words black and have it mean something in a cultural sense, we have to understand that there is a whole portfolio of behavior, a history, and consequences associated with that we have to analyze if we're going to problem solve.
So that's the reason why I said, be a long story short, because the reason why I brought up all that stuff, because no matter how, shape or form we put it, I don't, big words and all that stuff, I'm in definitions. Hold up, because I'm not dissing you. You gotta listen. I'm not dissing you. To me, that's not my shit. That's not my culture. It's to listen to how somebody else breaks it down for us. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying that is because none of that shit fucking works. Now that might work for small groups and stuff like that, blah blah woo. But what I'm saying is all of the cultural shit that we have right now has been given to us. The shit that we're supposed to be moving and stuff like that, we tried it and we got kicked out of it by our own people to get into this situation that we in right now, cultural. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I brought up my old lady and her culture. And the reason why I brought it up, because it's not technically her culture that got her there. It was because she was raised by a businessman. You see what I'm saying? A guy that had the first major car fucking manufacturing plant in Nigeria. That's what I'm saying. And when I start talking about all the things and stuff like that, we can learn. We are manageable people. We can learn a lot of things. Not manageable, but like be able to actually learn things. That's the type of that we are. The type of everybody is. The problem is you have to think outside the box with this thing, because you are going to have to get in somebody else's culture, somebody else's realm to get ahead, because you are going to have to play politics.
Hey, Mike, you literally said
we're talking about the same thing
in your own words. He said the same thing you said, but you just said in your own words.
No, because he said her culture. When I said the culture out there, but I said that she was raised by a businessman. If I take you out there,
I was not trying to direct it towards her as an individual.
No, I know you wasn't, because you corrected that. You said one thing, then you corrected it to make sure what you were saying was heard. But what I was saying was that's not particularly the culture out there. You see what I'm saying? How my old lady was raised, it's not.
So the culture out there where your wife was raised, they don't show the young ladies how to be a certain type to their men, certain
Yeah, they
type of
do.
woman.
They do. But like I said, you know what I'm saying? Like cooking and cleaning and all that stuff. But all of them don't know that. Everybody don't get that type of. Everybody don't get the same treatment. But at the end
I
of the
understand,
day,
but I'm just saying with your wife, your wife and most of the people where you say she was Nigerian, right?
no, is.
Is, but I'm saying
Yeah.
she's Nigerian. The people over there in Nigeria, they teach their young daughters how to cook and clean to that nature, right?
On majority of the part, yeah.
Majority of the part. That's what we're saying. You like I said, you're saying the same thing. He's saying
No,
that same
I
aspect, and
never brought that up though.
I'm bringing it up. I'm just saying.
Exactly. But you said I said
Okay,
stuff.
I made the assumption that was understood already when I made the
Okay.
mention of culture. So I see again, I need to come up with better vernacular so
No,
that
you don't need to come
that
up with
idea
better
can be
vernacular
clear.
because that's
No. See, just by saying the word vernacular, it's an issue. We
No,
literally
it's
were
not a
saying the
problem.
same thing,
No,
and
it's
you were
not a problem. I don't understand why you don't understand. Like I don't see you as a problem. I don't see what you're saying as a
no,
problem.
no. I'm not okay.
All right. So it feels like this has got a
No, it
little
feels like it's a problem
personal.
because it feels like a
Little
problem
personal.
because somebody has something different to say as you.
No,
You can, I can, if you say it's a problem for me, I can say that on you.
no. I'm not saying you are the one that has the problem. I didn't insinuate.
I never said I have a problem. I never said I was
No.
the person that had a
Nameless,
problem.
just let it go. Let it go, Nameless. Let it go, Nameless.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it go.
You
Just let it go.
literally up here just said me using the word vernacular is a problem. I said
Not
that
for
wasn't a
you,
problem.
for
I
me.
said,
For me, this was all
so why
directed
would
at
you say
me.
that then?
I am saying that for me
So why would you say that?
because it is a self-criticism of myself just now
All right.
in this moment.
Feels like pity
all
pat
I
now.
That's a good way to make it. Yeah.
This is pity pat right now.
No, it's not. It's not pity pat. Like you could use all the big words and stuff like that and flip the script.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Every time you
but that's
see
what I'm
it,
saying. That's
what
pity
it sound
pat.
like you doing.
I mean, we kind of agreeing here, but we pity patting on whether it's about vocabulary or something personal. when
No,
quite,
I'm not. It's not. It's nothing personal. Only thing I'm saying
Okay.
is that there's. How come we can't just get out of this mentality of all this stuff and just do it?
But you gotta
Well,
understand,
okay.
just like
Can I address
Go
that?
ahead.
How
Go
come we
ahead.
can sit up
Go
over
ahead.
here? How
No,
come
no,
we can
no,
sit
I
up
look-
over here and we can say all this shit? But
Yeah,
ain't
hold
gonna
on,
happen
cuz, hold on.
from it. It ain't gonna happen like that. Like if you want to be
Hold up,
original
one at a
with that
time.
stuff,
Whoa. One at a time, please.
one is speaking. If you want to, if we could come up with all this stuff and blah blah with the woo, and can't nobody say how it's gonna go down. Can't nobody say this is how it's gonna work. Can't nobody say that.
I said that.
Okay, well, guess what? You don't know.
I said flat out that the nexus of power in the black community needs to be the black man. The black man needs to be the leader. That any other solution doesn't work.
And the key word is need.
I said that flatly.
Yeah, it's not that isn't that I don't think that's I don't subscribe to that. But you got your argument, brother.
So
I don't subscribe to it.
so then my question is and was, show me where another ethnicity, another group of people, another race, or culture has managed to pull it off with women running the show. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I just don't know of it.
I mean, I never went around and looked. I never done the research. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Only thing I'm saying is that who says it can't.
Okay, so
I'm saying history says it can't.
if
I'm
you
saying
look at-
history.
if you look at the Jewish community, for example, right? By definition, I'm making a point, and I'm talking to the other dude right here. If you look at the Jewish community, for example, and I think part of the reason that we have a problem with hearing this idea of, there's no reason why it can't work, right? is because we, again, don't have that cultural framework to define what power even looks like. So if you look at the Jewish community, for example, a lot of what they have looks just like us. They fit this definition historically of not being part of the dominant society. They have a whole history of supposedly, coming from a disadvantaged position, but then they use their culture as a tool of aggregation to formulate power. And a lot of them pass on those assets and power through the women. A lot of the women are running the community out there. And if you observe what they do to succeed, when we go through, for example, what's his name? The dude that did Powernomics. I don't know why his name's slipping my mind. But he has the 5 scales.
Dr. Claude Anderson.
Dr. Claude Anderson.
Yeah. They fit that dynamic very clearly because their culture primes these men, these boys, to grow up to assume those positions of power like you're talking about. Yes. So I think, again, the disconnect is downplaying what that looks like for us. Yes. So I don't think we're recognizing, and I'm saying this across the board, I'm making a general statement. Of course, there's exceptions, right? I'll put that disclaimer out there. We don't know what that looks like. We have not had a paradigm where we have, as a culture, as a group of people, preferred to build our boys and men and groom them for these positions. The only instances we get to have to do that are either in gang culture, the military, or the prison industrial complex.
In sports.
We get sports to a limited degree, but there's so few of us that can make that professionally. The other 3 areas, we have far greater representation. So those are the only dynamics. And coincidentally, there's not somebody that looks like us that is ultimately in charge of all of that. So when you look at the ultimate owners and authority behind that, they're not people that look like us, and they're definitely not Black men. So we're doing a lot of this from scratch. We can try to use the church model, right? Which I think is the closest approximation. But we already know the problems with that. And what ends up happening? We don't participate in that anyway. Why? It doesn't appeal to the logic necessary for framework. So, I mean, this is kind of a catch too.
Well said. And I think, and so I can see whether other brother, I believe it's Michael, where you're coming from is if brothers are not setting young brothers up to take on that mantle of power, or to define what that is, and then to be able to manage it once they have it, then you have a problem, right? So even if you get power, you don't have anybody that can take it and do anything with it. So I can see that as an issue, but it has to start somewhere, right? It has to start with the elder, the adult men, defining that shit, instilling it in them, giving them the education of self, of things that are beyond, Snapchat and TikTok and shit like that they can be thinking about other things. That doesn't mean every kid is going to be, a bookworm and go to college. 30% of the people in the United States have college degrees. I mean, 70% don't. So it's not for everybody. That it's not to say that that's the right way to get everywhere. But to meet people where they're at, bring them as far as you can bring them, and let them know that they're not stuck in any particular place. They can go as far as they want to go. Maybe some sacrifices need to be had, some connections need to be made, but you can get there. You can. You know what I mean? But no one says it's going to be easy.
Well, let me make this. Let me make this announcement. Welcome to my channel, the Underrated Thought, your true, the underrated one, the #1 grinder, one of the best kept secrets on YouTube, the best of the business. I do got a Cash App. Cash App is $ capital JT 53000. Also have PayPal / all in caps JT Black 53. We got Mike Boxing. We got Brother Sheed, Brother Rock Dixon, and Brother Nameless that joined this great conversation. And anybody that wants to donate, please donate to the cause. Please donate to the cause. If you don't have that, at least hit the like button and share it. Do that. Okay? As you were, Brother Rashid.
So I think Rashid was go ahead. I'll go in after him.
Go ahead, Brother Rashid.
About the history. You got it? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes, sir. You on mute.
Well, he's having connection issues.
You go ahead, brother Demas.
Well, and this is an issue I notice with having this conversation a lot of times when you bring up anything that doesn't have to do with the present moment, obviously, in an open sense. A lot of these descriptions of what's occurred come off as excuses to people. And it's not it's easy to look at the site of a crash or where somebody fell, but it's not as easy to go back and pay attention to what caused the slip in the first place. And I think that's what some folks are focused on. And it's easy to forget to draw the connections to the present so that it can be useful information to make better informed decisions in the future. I think we were touching on the core issue, which, while it's a big deal for us, it's also a global phenomenon that seems to be tied to just modernization in the first place, which is people who should be having children and building family units simply aren't. And there are a lot of reasons why, but for us in particular, we've got this 80-20 principle going on, along with the fact that 53% of Black men don't have kids. But the important thing about it is within that 53%, the top 60% of individuals that make money are in that 53%, meaning those of us that can afford to have the children are not having the children. Those who probably are not financially and structurally in place to do it still are.
Facts.
And we're in a perpetual state of trying to compensate for this and create leadership. But the problem is, this is why I made the difference between responsibility and liability. You can't get a man to sacrifice per se without at least getting respect for doing so. And I think we run face first into the stepdad argument, which, in our past, post, up to the 70s, I think a lot of us either know or have been in that position. But moving now with the way the culture shifted overall, that position isn't respected. And there's not a lot of men who are going to essentially take care of somebody else's kids and put in the work it needs to maintain an infrastructure for pretty much nothing, promise access to sex. And you can try to shame men in general and say, look, you should do it for your community. It's what a man does. But at the end of the day, we've been conditioned for so long. I'm not saying this as an excuse, just a general observation. Generally speaking, our demographic has, especially as men, has placed their value as men being directly related to the access they have to women.
To sex, yeah.
To sex.
And it's such a short sell.
You see what I'm saying?
It's a short sell because sex is easily had. It's not a difficult commodity to get your hands on.
But with no cultural or social contract in place, to promise any level of compensation or a modality of respect that can create a different imprint model in the women. What I mean by that, this is why I go back to, you can't be raised to perform a position, or rather, you can't perform a position you were never trained for. If we understand the concept of imprinting and you grow up and don't see any examples of this, how do you change that, mid-course, mid-swing? How do you do the redirection? Some people may be able to, but for the most part, they're not even going to be attracted to that. And we already know with psychology, so much of what you get exposed to as a child ends up playing itself out in adulthood because it tampers with your baseline settings of how you see reality. So if we've got this shared experience that's compromised, we shouldn't be too surprised to see it play out that way. But the question immediately goes to, what's the solution? And the only solution I can say is, if the point of origin is this gateway that the children are coming out of, either you change the gateway or you change the culture that's associated with that. And what it ultimately is gonna mean is people in the present moment having to sacrifice their future to have one later on. And I don't know how you convince people to do that unless the situation gets so bad that they can see that they don't have a future anyway, which again sounds like nothing but doomsaying at the end of the day.
Well, no, that goes back to what I was saying before, which is you got to see things for what they are, not what you want them to be and what you wish them to be. I mean, if that's the scenario we're in, that's the scenario we're in, right? So that actually, what you said, brought up a thought process I had years ago, but I don't talk about this kind of stuff with people too much anymore. Is, in what way can one expect a woman, a black woman in particular, to know what a good man is if she's never really seen one, if she's not had access to one on a regular basis?
It's
Maybe
catch
you see,
22.
right? And so you didn't have the cyclical issue, right? And then, and adding to that is, the those who, that 53%, or of that, groups, some percentage that are able to structurally and financially have a family, withdraw, right? And I know plenty. And I'm confirmed bachelor as well, and I for same reason have not had children, because until I took the red pill, I might have been about 30 something before I figured out what was going on. No, don't get me wrong. I did a plenty amount of alley catting in my 20s, and realized that, okay, so now, I'm being seen as a money bag, because of what I did for work. And they're like, hey, what's going on? Why you not married? Why you don't have kids? And I start seeing this scenario. Yeah, but why you got so many kids?
Right.
We about the same age. You got so many kids. Not why I don't have kids. I wanted to do it the appropriate way, right? If I'm not married, at least committed to the lady, and we go start a family on purpose, not by accident. So, I could go on on and on about it, but I just wanted to kind of point out that part that, we apply it to young men, where we say, they have the bad example. They have the streets. That's all that they have, and that's why they ended up in jail. That's why they ended up having all these kids. But that sword does cut the other way. These women keep choosing those men because they're not seeing good men, and then they're not being guided well by the women who, women that raised them, who also operate in that way. You know what I mean? So it is cyclical, and but that's why I believe that in order for it to stop, it has to stop somewhere, and it has to stop utilizing logic. And the only people that got logic, never mind.
Well, and that's where I think the issue is really only going to change with the environment and not the people. If I'm honest about this got this way because the environment allowed for it to. Part of it was artificial, and then the other part of it was completely out of their control. What am I talking about? COVID and the advent of a lot of the laws and the legislations that allowed the state to become an option instead of the family unit. And until that option is removed, which may happen in the future, due to COVID and due to fixed incomes likely to be a thing of that's norm, because if people can't open up normally because of COVID and automation coming through, and people have to continually rely on fixed income sources to get by, there's not going to be a lot of money left over for additional things that people have been able to enjoy as options to go for in lieu of having a family unit. And, just to prove the point of what I'm trying to make, I'm not just speaking about things like EBT and home assistance. I'm talking about grant money to go to school, positions that are open just off the strength of not having a Y chromosome, loan opportunities that are there. A lot of these things are going to start disappearing and being used elsewhere. We've got potentially a new war incoming with Iran, which again is going to stress resources. You've got people upset about the value of the dollar in the face of all of the stimulus, and they may, completely rewind the Nixon era, forcing people to use the dollar dynamic. And if that goes down, then folks are probably going to have to fall back on blockchain and Bitcoin, and they're going to find ways to get on that, which is going to, again, fixed income. We've got a lot of changes in the future to what is going to qualify for somebody getting by. And the way
brothers better get a self-preservation bone in their body somewhere, because everything you said, especially about the finance situation and economic situation,
it's bad.
It's going down. It really is.
Well, but that's what I mean about family, right? Because that's how you survive this, aggregating your resources through a culture matrix.
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
So the biggest problem facing black men is not the relationship with black women. It's not. It's really not. because
Well, it's a
because
byproduct
I've
of
said
it.
I've said this to other people before. So I'll go ahead and touch on my SYSBM deal. They're melanated people throughout the world. Like, so you don't have to just stick with America. The brother has a Nigerian wife. Good job. Shit, they got a whole continent full of women over there.
Well, Rock,
Plenty of melanated people.
Rock,
throughout-
here's the only problem with that, and it's not even a problem. It's where I begin my whole question with this conversation, because people have it coming from different places and different things that they assume. I have to ask the question first and foremost: what is the definition of a black community, and do people even really want one in the first place? And
So-
when people really sit down and think about that question, the solution looks very different for men and women with regards to answering that, because there's things black men can do that black women in this country, which is why I was specifying foundational black American / ADOS versus anyone else that just happens to have the classification of black. If you're a black man, there are options available to you that aren't as easy for black women, so-called, to really take care of. And that leads you face first into the SYSBM conversation and what that looks like in the future going forward.
My thing is
Yeah,
this.
I'm of the mind that AA women in their current state, as far as, well, let me put it this way: for the SYSBM men, black women in their current state, if you didn't pick them up, I think it's on BGS talks about that. If you didn't link up with them by 24, it's probably not going to happen. And to save yourself, black men are just looking other places for other melanated women. And what I find interesting about that conversation, myself being part of it and having several other brothers in six figures doing it, is none of them went for what would be considered white featured women. Right. Most of them are brown, dark, if not black, that you couldn't tell if they was ADOS or not. You know what I mean? You had no idea. So that being said, I think that, they're going to be obsolete soon. And I think kind of, and I don't want to make this about black women in particular, insofar, beyond how do we survive here doing what we're doing, is that they're becoming obsolete. I mean, their risk reward, their risk versus reward is low. Nobody, you don't want to take on that risk for what? To end up in the court system doing what? Child support system doing what?
Yeah, that's cool, brother. There's anything you want to say?
Yeah, I
he's
want to
about
jump back in.
Go ahead, fam.
Yeah,
We can hear
yeah.
you.
The crazy part, I got a Jamaican wife, and
didn't
my
know that.
thing was what? Yep.
Didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
man.
fam.
The crazy part is, like I said, I've been married to her for 14 years now, and I was with this whole SYS before I even knew what it was. Because my thing was this: when I started dealing with women, you know, particularly even with my wife, she's Jamaican. She had 2 kids when I married her, and my thing was I wanted a woman that actually wanted kids, for one, and for two, I wanted to see what type of mother she was, and that was good with her raising her own kids, because ultimately, if she didn't have kids, I would have seen the way how she interacted with her nieces and nephews. There's ways of looking at women and trying to figure out, are they going to be a good mother or not. And that was one of the key things I wanted to look at when I was finding my wife, because ultimately I wanted a good woman. And like nowadays, these guys going with this whole SYSB thing, and I'm letting them know, if you don't have a woman that's kind of sort of know about this American culture, that know when she gets over here how these women are, all they're gonna do is just ruin her. Because basically, what you're gonna essentially do is take her out of her environment and put her right smack in the environment from the women that you don't want to deal with. And guess what they're gonna do? Mold her into what they do. And ultimately, she's going to be trying to do the same thing, either run off and leave you if she's not grounded in her culture. And a lot of guys don't get that. That's why I tell them the SYSB don't work if you don't have a woman that's grounded in her culture. You
Well,
know,
this is that's and I don't want to digress too much from what we were originally talking about, but this is why having terms such as gynocracy is useful, because it's been intersectionalism that's been kind of what's been warping the environment outside of the US to create those influences that affect policy that pretty much have the problems we're complaining about here follow you overseas. So eventually the whole world is going to end up with this as a credible threat to the culture that they originally come from. It's already happening on the continent. But I just found it interesting that, again, I make the statement of gateway because I think it's an appropriate term, that the culture is what warps what will come out of whatever circumstance you're having when the children is raised.
And
And
I would. I'm sorry. I thought you. I'm sorry.
one thing I'll just say, and that was why again I brought up that stream I did with Dr. Nicole Ali going into epigenetics to demonstrate how a lot of those behavioral dispositions can even be passed on a genetic level, and how it's important to understand environment plays a much bigger role than what I think we give credit to. Just because we as individuals do have the ultimate decision making process, that agency to do that, a lot of what changes the way we look at those decisions is deterministic by our environment. And we can express a measure of control over that. We just need to be aware that it has that potential influence. And I think SYSBM is a good example of, let me change my environment so I can get something that's more conducive to me for what I want. But go ahead, fam.
And and I want to make sure that I'm not saying that, oh, this is just the answer. It's the magic bullet that's gonna. No, but it's certainly an option. And and I definitely, when I speak to younger dudes and they're doing right things, and they're talking about some of the same stuff guys in our 30s and 40s are talking about, and they're running into it in their 20s, and I'm like, well, grab a passport and go see something else. I'm not saying that's what you got to do, but go see what's available to you if you're able to do that. If you're able to go and you can put together the extra money to go do those things, why wouldn't you? You should
Yeah.
see what the
but
whole world has to offer you.
the thing is this though too. They have to leave out of their city. A lot of guys
Yeah,
haven't even traveled out of the metro area,
Facts.
yeah,
let
yeah,
alone get outside of the country.
Facts.
I've
Yeah.
been to all 48 states, and I tell you, I've been in some of the most countryest places and seen the most
yeah,
beautiful, respectful
yeah,
women.
yeah.
I said on the channel
Uh,
before, I was in the like Alabama, going outside of
Mm-hmm,
Birmingham. Man, this girl was fine as all,
mm-hmm,
respectful, nice, pleasant, everything. And I kind of sensed that energy from, she was a good girl, but the thing, she didn't want to date me because she explained to me, I just got out of a bad relationship. She said, I'm not dating no one. I'm not dealing with no one. I have to work on myself. I respect her
mm-hmm.
for it, because if I would have got in a relationship with her, I would have
Everything.
had to leave her because of her, her foolishness. She was the one that told me that she needed
Right.
help. And I respected that. I'm like, she was fine, but I'm like, hey, I had no choice but to respect it.
but
And
you
you know
know,
what? And that before you even go SYSBM and all of that stuff, yeah. If you're in an environment, to your point, the metropolitan environment is what it is, right? And if you feel uncomfortable in that, or that's not conducive to what you're trying to do, then yeah, you should go step outside. If it's just the suburbs, all the way out to the country. You don't have to leave the country to see what's available to you. You know what I mean? So I agree with that.
well, I could say that, like, when I was with the ex in New York, we've been to, like I said, about 6 cruises. So you could say I've been around the world. I've been different places, and I could tell you that I met quite a few women, even though I was with the ex. And then they treat me with respect. They even see the the behavior that the ex was giving me. And I always told brother, I don't talk that much about it, but I told brothers, like, you gotta expand. You gotta expand. Get that passport. If you got money to go, just go. Experience it. Go on a cruise. I told brother all the time, like, when I get my passport, I'm taking myself to cruise. I need to get away to expand on some things, and I think that's what we need to do and stuff like that. And I like this conversation, and I had to end it because I got to take care of this engagement with my godson. You know, he's here, so I got to spend time with him. I'm going to name it like this: Rock Dixon, last remarks. Mike Boxer, last remarks. Brother Names Nash, last remarks, and a brother Sheed.
Hey, thanks again. I appreciate the conversation. It was a good time talking to you guys. It kind of stopped me from my errands I had to run, but it was definitely worth it. I think the main thing, really, to me, is as Black men, we got to not be scared of power. We got to not be scared to seek it, to get a hold of it, and to use it. We got to not be scared, and that includes, it starts with our own community. It starts with our kids. It starts with our women, to be able to tell them flat out, this is how it's going to be, or or I'm not playing your game. You playing my game or no game, right? And start there, and then then we won't have some of the problems we have. We can start to focus on the other problems.
All right, stay right there. Next.
I'll go ahead and close out.
Go ahead, Sheed.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Like I always talk about with different topics, we all got to come together and work things out. We gotta, you know, we gotta work with one another, the men and the women. We're not always gonna have the answers, but let's start with each other first, and then start to spread abroad. Because ultimately, as Black American people, we all we got. We don't have nobody else fighting for us, willing and dealing for us. So we gotta accept it. If we can't work with each other, that's understandable. We can go other places, but let's don't let the outside be our first option. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
I
Brother
can go.
Mike. Oh,
Yeah,
go,
I can
go.
go. Yeah, man. Nice talk with everybody. I might not, see the see eye to eye with everybody with different conversations and stuff, man. I just believe that, man. At the end of the day, man, we just need to make something shake. You know what I'm saying? And it could be 6 months from now, a couple months from now, or whatever the case may be. But we just need to make something shake. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not doing anything about it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing nothing but, you know, financially helping the homies in college. Every time they need something to eat, need some books or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm not out there in the streets and stuff like that. Doing all that type of stuff. But I just try to help out my fellow brother and woman, man. My fellow black folks every chance I get. That's all I do.
All right, good. Stay right there because I want y'all to close out. I want us to close out together as a family. Brother Nameless, please.
We need to not be afraid of averages and understand that any other group of people probably would have been wiped out a long time ago. But just like any other autoimmune situation, sometimes your strength can be your greatest weakness. Any other group of people was not strong enough to survive and still get by without needing the assistance of anyone else. And if we don't understand the environment changing right now, if we don't understand that there's a lot of things that we're attacking that aren't necessarily our enemies, if we don't recognize the bigger picture, that some of the things that we recognize as friends may not be friends truly, to really get back to what was said a second ago, is we're all we got. If we don't recognize that, we're not going to make it. Interdependence is the way human beings have succeeded. It's how we're created. It's how we're meant to move forward. That starts with having an understanding of who in the world you are, what you want, and why. And that ties us back to power. If you're too afraid of demonstrating it against yourself with discipline, no one's going to take you seriously. And we have to understand that likely in order for us to get through this, either it has to get so bad that it's too late, or we have to be willing to sacrifice our future in order for the next generation to have something. Because other groups of people have already understood this and have the advantage of momentum. Because when it comes time to decide who's going to eat and all you have is this fixed income and you haven't developed any skills to make it, this whole idea of independence is going to count against you. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be 10 people with $100,000 that succeed rather than a single millionaire. And until we understand that fact, it's a wrap.
Okay. Stay right there once close as a family. This was the underrated mukbang number 11. I show my food, so anybody like, yup, you gotta wait till you rewind. When it's rewind, y'all can see it. And I want to say this: that us as black men gotta find a way to unite, man. We gotta find a way. We have to tap back into history, culture, wherever it is. We gotta find a way. Things is changing, and we have to learn to adapt with the change. We got to see things for what it is. And the question that I'm asking myself, the underrated one, are you willing to keep on fighting, or are you going to give up? That's the way I look at it. So I willing to fight. I willing to be there for that black man no matter what. And on behalf of my channel, I thanks everybody to come on and ooh, and so let's all I can say, let's push on. Let's push on. And wherever brother or sister that is traveling, please travel in groups to wherever destination that you at or at home. Understand the climate that we in. It's a must. That's part of being discipline ourselves. And I want to thank each of your brothers that contribute to this. And I thank y'all very, very much. Each of y'all are greatly appreciated. Till next time, y'all, this one is Ghost.